This may come as a surprise, but we've already sort of written two of the tab pages because we've already written the genre page, the genre input, and the location input is more or less identical, except we need to change a few variable names and that kind of thing. So another thing that a lot of people might not know about is you can cut and copy and paste controls the same way you can copy and paste code. So all we really have to do is hold down the left mouse button and select all the controls on the page, and then when they're highlighted, use some copy command, like for instance Control C, to copy all the controls, and then close this solution and open the solution of our DVD base. Which I guess is this one. Oh, I must have said open file instead of open solution. Just go to open recent projects and solutions and select the solution. And then we have a number of tab pages, so make sure you select the correct tab page, which is genre input. And once that's selected, just do a paste, which you could either use a Control V or you can right click and say paste. And voila, there's the controls. We actually have way too much room on this page for a control. I remember in the previous database program I actually started putting pictures in the empty spaces. But if we unclick away from the controls, you see there they are, and select a control, and you see it has the right name and everything, button add genre, and LBX saved genres, and so on. One mistake you got to watch out for is don't just copy and paste the code, because you can do that in some cases, but in things like the event handler for the button, you need to double click on the button and make sure that you've created that event handler in this program. Or if you try and just copy and paste it, it won't work right because it won't be hooked up correctly. And now we want to save this and once again do a file close solution and file recent projects and solutions. Remember, solutions, not files. And select that again, and then go to the code behind, and then I hold down the left mouse button and drag it over all the code behind and do a right click or whatever technique and copy, and that'll copy the code. And then I usually copy all the code into a notepad file so I don't have to keep switching back and forth all the time, because usually there's a number of parts, like there's the button part and the form load part and the global variable part, and you need to cut and paste all that in. So I right clicked and pressed paste, and we now have the code in my notepad file. And then we go up and file close solution, file recent projects and solutions, and get the database again. And then for instance, for the button code, this is going to get some errors because I haven't put in the defining global variables yet, but just do a copy of that part of the code and go to the button handler, which you've created by double clicking on the button so it's set up right, and do a paste, and we've got that code in. You see we've got some undefined variables because those are global variables, and we'll need to insert the global variables here and the form load code that opens the connection here, but the same technique applies. And once we do that with this page, the genre input page, and with the location input page with the variable name slightly modified, we now have 2 pages done. And the third thing I'm going to do is utility. I'm going to put the reset tables button in the utility. So we'll actually have 2 pages done and 1 page well started. That's the old saying, well begun is half done. So we'll have a 3rd page half done. Well, I hope this technique is new to you and you've learned a lot from it. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe.